He is the man of the hour. He is the PWI 500, number 152. He is a BRP 50, number 7. He's in a BW 500, number 7 as well. He is a two-time ECWA champion and Super 8 winner. He is a two-time ECW World Heavyweight Champion. He is wrestling's richest prize, the All-Father, the face of every franchise that you're going to be on, Mr. Darius Carter.
They get better every time.
They do. They
They
do.
get better every time. You really have found your niche. You found your place in this game, in this announcement game. That is a great intro.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Thank you, man. After doing it so many times with you, I would hope to master at this point. I should memorize these numbers. I feel like
You should memorize.
every
That's
time they get longer and longer, though.
yeah, yeah,
It's a
yeah.
new
Listen,
list.
little more confetti, a little more streamers next time. But
Yeah.
you could throw a kazoo in there. But that was well done. I'm impressed.
I don't have the budget. We got to take up with Michael J. Putty for that. He needs to get
Sell your house,
more
get a harp.
sponsors.
Sell your house, get a harp, and just play on the side of the street for me and intro me in. That's care right there. That's somebody who loves the craft.
I would do that, but my wife would, she would kill me. Anywho,
That's a good point.
that's the point. Enough about me, Darius Carter. Let's talk about you, my man. You're coming off BCW, Nightmare at the Mecca. You had a huge matchup facing Anthony Gangone. Huge rivalry. Like, I mean, is it even a rivalry? I mean, like the fact is, I mean, it's a friendship turned to rivalry. It's hard to explain. There's so much
It's a
history
brotherhood.
there.
It's a
It's a
brotherhood.
brotherhood. You did as you said, though, on this podcast. You beat him, you kissed him on the forehead, and you walked out still champion. How did it feel after doing that?
I told you I'd do it. And I want to bring this first off, this beauty, because we see it so much with me, but oh, this is
It's a
an
beautiful
absolutely
championship.
it's gorgeous. It's excellently crafted, and it's something that nobody else has access to but me. It's a beautiful thing. And we talk about the brotherhood between myself and Gangone, and look at this beautiful thing. And well, I always keep her shining, always keep her glistening. You know, the sun, it's like the sun that warms you. It really is.
I feel like I need my sunglasses watching
I'm
this.
telling you, look at it. Oh, it's in full effect. And we talk about Gangone, and we talk about him trying to reach after this championship and trying to have it. And that's the point, is that we need to see more people stepping up. I'm proud of Gangone because that's what I wanted. I wanted the nastiest version of Gangone. I wanted the most bitter version of Gangone. I wanted all of that because I didn't want him to have any more excuses than he was already going to have. But I didn't want him to, because deep down inside, he can sit here and talk about Vince Steele and he can sit here and talk about Anthony Cole all he wants. I'm the one that pinned him. I'm the one that hit him with the royal sweep. I'm the one that did to Anthony what nobody else has really done in BCW, and that's pushed him to that limit. You're talking about pushing me to a limit. Let's talk about Gangone and again the list of challengers that he had, the Jay Bougies, the Vickies, the Daniel Alexanders. This man, Gangone, had not tested himself against someone of my caliber. And he knew that. He knew it had been a while. He knew it had been a while. And listen, the man is more than he's more than competent. He is one of the finest in-ring competitors. That's why I consider him a brother. That's why I love him. That's why I kissed him on the forehead. It was just a matter of him learning his place in the game. It was just a matter of him having to be reminded where he sits in the hierarchy of professional wrestling. And
But you,
unfortunately, there's no room where he sits higher than me. And that's all that it came down to.
but you can't deny though. Anthony Gangone did come close. He did have the inimitable claw. Albeit Nick Shin was out cold. But Vince Steele did get involved. Do you have any feelings about that at all? That Vince Steele interfered in the matchup. It wasn't necessarily a clean finish from your part, but you did walk out the winner. Any
From
thoughts on
my
that?
part, what does that mean? From my part, Vince, I didn't control Vince Steele. I didn't tell Vince Steele to come out there. And even if I did, it's his choice. He came out on his own volition. If anything, he came out on Anthony Cole's volition. because Gangon made enemies coming into the match. That's on him for making enemies coming into the biggest match of his BCW tenure. You've wanted this championship match all this time. You've been begging and pleading and crying and complaining, and then you went and won the first ever Grand Rumble, a match which was designed to finally name me a number one contender, by the way. That Rumble would not have happened if I didn't run out of opposition. All right? So we put 20 people in there. Gangon wins. He knew this match was happening. This wasn't going to be one of those times where the match gets announced and then, right before, an hour before showtime it changes, or a day before it changes. Gangon knew he was going to have me for months. He knew he was going to have me in that match. He knew he was going to get me at Christmas with a Vengeance. Christmas with a Vengeance is what we're about to just do with
yes, Nightmare at the Mecca.
Nightmare at the Mecca, right? Nightmare, Christmas, Nightmare. You know how it gets at the end of the year with the Nightmare Christmas, Nightmare before Christmas, right? So Nightmare at the Mecca. This man, he knew that he was going to be facing me there, and he went and he pushed Anthony Cole's buttons, and you know how Anthony Cole is, so why he would do that, that's on him. He did this to himself. He cost himself. He was the one who tried to get cheeky. He caught me with a low blow, which he did in the Grand Dragon tournament match. Again, I give him credit for being the man that he is and trying the things that he tried. He went to great lengths, and he doesn't seem to bring that up, that he pulled out every move in his arsenal. He did everything he could to keep me down, and he didn't. The ref went down twice, and then you're talking about a mandible claw on me after the ref went down twice. What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
No, well, I mean, I gotta say, it was close though. I mean, was there any thought in your mind?
Get you? What does close get you? Used to?
Right.
Used to. Oh, I used to be. Used to is a rooster from Brewster. What does that mean? What does that mean that he came close? Oh, well, this guy came close, Darius. How do you feel about that? How do I feel about
while you're in the mandible claw though, was there any thought like, oh my God, this is it?
No, there was no thought, because I'm Darius Carter. See, the difference between me and other people is I don't have those moments of doubt. I don't have those moments of, oh my God, what am I going to do? I have a plan A through a Z, because I have to prepare myself for every possible outcome.
So was Vince Steele part of that plan now?
Was what part of the plan? The mandible claw? No, it wasn't part of the plan.
No. Was Vince Steele part of the plan then? You say you have plan A through Z.
Part of Cole's plan wasn't part of my plan. I'd tell you if that was my plan. That wasn't my plan. I have nothing to do with Vince Steele. I have nothing to do with Anthony Cole. I'd tell you, because it would have been my plan. So I would have taken credit for it because it was mine. Come on. Who's coming up with the strategy here between myself, Cole, and Vince Steele? You know, all due respect to Anthony Cole, because he's a great businessman. He truly is one of my favorites that I work with or have worked with in my entire career. But Anthony Gangon made enemies going into the match. He decided to poke the bear known as our promoter. He did that to himself. All right. For my relationship with Anthony Cole is going out and getting photo shoots done, getting promotional work done, getting pictures taken, having interviews, podcast interviews, meeting these new proprietors, different venues. That's
being the face of the brand.
The face of the brand. And gang owners over here trying to put the mandible claw on them everywhere you go. You can't be the top guy if you can't handle top guy business, if you can't sit at the table, or if you can't take action on the field the way that you need to represent your brand. So Gangon was never a proper choice as champion. We can sit here and talk about close all you want. People have come close over the years. To what degree? What measure? How does that measure up against the fact, by the way, that I'm over halfway there in terms of beating my previous record, 1,227 days of my first reign. I am now sitting over 620. I am over halfway to beating my own record. Who is doing that anywhere on the independent? Setting a record and then going around to break their own record. And I've defended this championship against the who's who, against Austin Theory, defended this championship against Su Yung, defended against Danny Moff, defended against Rayhan Antaeus, now formerly known as Montana Black, against Yaya. I've defended this championship up and down. People coming up and down, left and
Casey
right, being sent
Navarro.
here from spaceships. Come on, let's talk about it. I've beaten every single person, whether it's outside the company, inside the company. Anthony Gangone got it too. Kylie Alexa couldn't finish the match.
Oh, you went there.
Yeah, I'm going there because I'm that champion. And people associate me not just with BCW, but with the BCW World Heavyweight Championship. When I didn't have the championship, people still believed I was champion. People did not believe that I was not the champion when I wasn't champion. They could not fathom how Darius Carter wasn't champion. And the only reason I wasn't champion is because the champion at the time couldn't show up for work, couldn't show up to defend the championship.
I feel like, yes, BCW has often enough become synonymous with Darius Carter. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Um, but like, shifting gears here, Darius Carter. I mean, like, you brought up about the fact that the Grand Rumble, that, that was their way of trying to find a challenger for you. Now we're ending the year strong here at BCW with Christmas with a Vengeance. And this time the tables have turned in a way. This time you issued the challenge in a sense. Like, you are going to be facing your former trainer, Nunzio, aka Little Guido. How did this
Little
come to be?
little Nunzio Guido. How did this come to be? This one is very cut and dry. This isn't
Is this
as
some? I'm sorry, but is this something you always wanted to have, or is it all of a sudden you wanted this match?
oh, this is something I've always wanted. This isn't as storyboard as myself and Gangone, where there are so many pieces throughout the years. In terms of rivalry, that was what me and Gangone or a brotherhood. Nunzio is one of four people that trained me. Okay, so there was Richie Rotten, there was Preacher Phineas James, there was the Icon Magic, and there was Nunzio. So Nunzio came in uh, probably around 2010, around that period, because again, I had started training late November. So Nunzio had come in around there, well over a decade ago, and he would get in there with me. He just showed me a lot in terms of the wrestling aspect of it. I mean, he was doing things and able to roll around and move on the mat and position himself in ways. I mean, he was trained. One of his trainers was Billy Robinson, and Billy Robinson is a man that I wish I got to meet. He's a man that I appreciated more and more over time. So the more time passed, the more I wanted to know him, and the more I wanted to meet him. I wish I had that chance before he had passed, but Nunzio is like my connection to Billy Robinson. He's right there. He's my live in living color connecting point to Billy Robinson. So that there's so many parts of this that I wanted. I wanted Nunzio for a long time, and we've shared locker rooms, but the timing just clearly wasn't right, and now it is. Now, when I'm at the top of my game, when I'm closer than I've ever been to whatever you want to call it, okay, here I am facing the last trainer, the only trainer of mine that I've never faced. That's what this was about. This was about me saying that I wanted to face the former masters, the former teachers, and show them where I am, where I'm at. And that's happened over time. I've wrestled Preacher a few times. I've wrestled Richie Rotten. I've wrestled Magic. These are men that I've taken to the ring, taken to the hole, and I've beaten these men. The people that helped put me into the boots that I wear. So to have Nunzio at this point in my career, with the championship on the line of this magnitude, this is everything that I could have ever wanted. I'm glad that we haven't wrestled yet. I'm glad that this is the first time. Is the champion issuing the challenge to the challenger? Absolutely. Am I putting my name out there and saying, listen, I want you to step forward and come see your champion in combat? That's exactly what this is. I saw Nunzio over there at the 2300 against Tony D'Angelo for the NXT North American Championship. I said to myself even further, I said, I need this man because I know he's making his rounds. I need him to come to me, to find me at BCW, and I need us to have this match right now. And I'm glad that he answered the call, and I'm glad that he's talking about it. He can't seem to stop talking about it because it's exciting for him to be able to wrestle a student that has come this far. And I don't knock on Nunzio's door. I didn't ask him for favors. I haven't asked him for a thing. All I did was get trained by the man, get help really got brought to where I am today. He helped bring me to where I am today, whether he was there every step of the way or not, just because of his teachings, just because of things. He's helped me more than he knows, and that's fine. But now is the time for me to show the last of my teachers that I am indeed superior. 2024, Darius Carter beats Nunzio, beats Little Guido. It's just the way that it is. And not just the Little Guido today, but Little Guido 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. There's no Nunzio or Little Guido that can beat the Darius Carter that you see before you today. The timing is entirely in my favor. This is a great opportunity for me to show him the man that I am and the man that I became over a decade after this man had his hand in training me. This will be an educational experience for him. I mean, when the teacher gets taken to the learning tree, it's a unique experience. And what I'm curious about is how Nunzio is going to take this. And I've said this before, but how is Nunzio going to take this? Is he going to take this with a smile, with a grin? Is he going to give me the old Italian kiss on each side of the cheek? Is he going to give me one of those after I'm done with him? Or is he going to be bitter and upset and envious that this man that he trained is in a different league than he has ever been in? And that is no disrespect to Nunzio, because Nunzio is a tremendous talent. We know this. We know how great Nunzio is. But the level of superstardom that I aspire to reach in this business are levels that Nunzio, I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to take you and I have to utilize you as a platform, as a springboard. I have to leap onto you and bounce off onto my next great success. That is what you are here to do for me. You are here to pay that forward to me. You are here to pass the torch to me. And I'm going to have this championship with me along the way, shining as beautifully as it shines with the torch in the other hand, and I'm going to walk that baby to a new plateau, to a new mountaintop. That's what I do, is I continue to create new mountaintops, continue to raise the bar for myself. Look at that match with Gango. Look at what we did there. Look at what we did there. And then before that, my match with Casey Navarro. It's not just about looking the part and talking the part. It's about walking the part. It's about delivering every single time. It's about being the best match. It's about being the best performance, the best in show. That's what I am. And I'm here to let Nunzio know that Nunzio is not going to be taken lightly. This isn't going to be some a pity on you because you're an older man at this point. That's not how that works. That's not how this works. Nunzio is going to get every single piece, every single part of a man that he had his help in training, the man that he helped deliver a portion of his knowledge to. Now, I'm not saying Nunzio taught me everything he knew, because the man knows so much, but I didn't need everything that he knows. I didn't need anything more than what he gave me to become the man that I am today. And now he's going to see, wow, that's Darius Carter? I'm going to surprise my own trainer. Because he may know I'm good. He may know I'm great. But I get the feeling that Nunzio doesn't truly know what he's had his hand in. And that's going to be the best part of all of this, is when it's all said and done, Nunzio looking at me and saying, wow. Wow. And I'm going to say back to him, I know.
Darius, you mentioned about Nunzio that he's taught you so much, that he's helped you in ways that he probably doesn't even know. What are some ways that Nunzio has helped you out with? Like, what aspect of your game today is in there because of Nunzio?
Well, he got on the mat with me, and that was something that, Richie wasn't really doing as much. Richie was more the fundamentals, the basics. Magic was always watching footwork and movement and covering a lot of those aspects of it, bringing that, old style Japan type of mentality, which was tremendous. Preacher I could roll around with 100%, because Preacher was and still is very technical. So that was really who I was rolling with. But when Nunzio came into the picture, Nunzio, again, training with Billy Robinson, he was just grabbing and just finding a body part and just finding a way to pick you apart. I mean, Nunzio is an incredible shooter. Nunzio is, and this is known information, how Nunzio is a tremendous amateur wrestler, grappling background. He knows how to grab you, knows how to snag you, he knows how to twist you up. And getting to roll around with him, I mean, that was one of the first times where I really understood that I was in there with somebody that was on a different level. I mean, Darius Carter at training stage, at training level, grappling with Nunzio. So there's a lot of excitement. Of course, I want to be the former student that shows to his teacher, look what I've become, look who I am. But this isn't about impressing him. This is about showcasing to him who I am. And that the fact that he may not even know that I'm at the top of his list in terms of the people he's trained, but I'm going to be the best student that man has trained, and he doesn't even realize it. He doesn't even know it. I'm going to be the biggest, most successful star that this man has trained, and he doesn't even know it. And I'm going to show him why and how inside of that ring. I'm going to walk him through every single step of it. He won't have any questions after I've beaten him from every comic panel. I'll beat him side to side, front to back. You'll flip the page, beating him front to side, back to back. That's what's going to happen, because I want this man, I want this trainer, just as my other trainers know, because Richie Rotten knows about Darius Carter and who I am and what I'm capable of. Preacher Phineas James knows and understands Darius Carter and what I'm capable of. Magic knows and understands. Nunzio, he gets it, but he doesn't know it like the other three. And he doesn't know it like the other three because he has not been in the ring with me since training me. I need to catch him up to speed. I need my trainer to know what the other trainers know. I need him to know what people out there need to know. And that's the fact that you have yourself a monster on your hands. An absolute monster. I'm proud to say it. Yes, I'm a monster. Yes, I'll eat you up. Yes, I will do what I have to do to get to where I need to be. And Nunzio has done a tremendous part in assisting in the construction of Darius Carter. But the man I am today is on an entirely different level. And the person I will become will see new levels. And Nunzio needs to get it. He needs to click inside of his mind that he's got something different underneath his wing that he helped train. I am on the best possible level that he could want his trainee to be at.
Considering the magnitude of this match, Darius, Nunzio, no secret. I mean, like, yes, you just mentioned he was just recently on NXT's ECW show against Tony D'Angelo. Is there anywhere in the back of your mind that WWE ID could be watching?
When I think to myself, why wouldn't you be watching? Why wouldn't you be watching what I'm doing? If we look at what I've been doing this past year, not just in BCW, but beyond, right? Just look at what Darius Carter has done to be considered the top 150 wrestlers, 170 wrestlers, wherever you want to put it. I'm consistently ranking in this position without having been given a TV spot or being given a TV opportunity. I did this all by creating the buzz that needed to be made, by putting out the quality, by putting out the work that people are going to see and saying, I got to find out about this person. I don't have any coattails to ride. I don't have anyone's name to attach myself to. I just went out there. I just go out there and be Darius Carter, and it attracts murmurs. It attracts eyes. It attracts buzz. That's what I'm here to do, is to generate that interest and to be the DC brand, to be the man who did it his way. I didn't need to elevate myself off of someone else's work, off of what someone else did. Okay. Instead, what I took the obstacles and I utilized them as platforms. And that's what Nunzio is going to be. He's going to be another platform. Do I expect WWE ID to be watching? I don't know. I'm not here doing what I'm doing just to impress them or to capture their attention. I'm here to be the best, period. I'm here to prove that I am the best BCW World Heavyweight Champion, to further establish that, because it's already fact, to establish the fact that I'm a top champion in the world. No matter where you look, you can compare me and put me next to them. You can run a parallel. You can say that I'm superior. You just can't say that I'm worse. I'm here to prove to the world that I am every bit as great as I say I am. As a matter of fact, the records don't have me entirely right. They could be moving me up, but I won't say anything about it. I'll let them put me where they put me. Mr. 152 on the PWI, no TV contract. Number 18 on the BWA blacklist. The 7, twice the 7. BRP 50, BW 500. Best black professional wrestlers in the world, best wrestlers in the world, period. Man, woman, anything in between. There is no one that is doing the things that Darius Carter is doing the way that Darius Carter is doing. And I'm
Facts.
so excited for Nunzio. I'm so excited for him to learn. Because it's, oh, Darius, what is Darius going to learn from this? Sure, Darius is going to learn from wrestling Nunzio. I learned from wrestling every single time I step inside of that ring. That's what happens when you love something. Every time you encounter it, you grow. Okay? I am going to learn from this match with Nunzio. There's no doubt about it. But what we need to think about is what Nunzio is going to learn from me. And that's the part that excites me the most, is what Nunzio is going to realize once that closing bell rings. That moment of realization, the light's going to flicker in his head and he's not going to see me the same way that he sees me now. And that's the part that I'm so excited for, because he trained me and he knows he trained me. He knows he had his part, but he doesn't really know. And it's my job to educate him. I cannot wait. Ooh, I cannot wait.
And neither can the BCW faithful, my man. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Christmas with a Vengeance. BCW on December 15th. Doors open at 2 o'clock. The bell rings at 3 o'clock. This is the main event right here, ladies and gentlemen. Darius Carter defends his BCW World Heavyweight Championship against Little Guido Nunzio at Richfield Park, New Jersey. Get your tickets right now. Darius Carter, thank you so much for dropping by here. Shot of Wrestling. We appreciate you, my man. Best of luck, even though you don't need it. And everyone else, we'll see you next time. Cheers.